Alright, cool. So yeah, pretty much I went and I looked at some of the interviews that Mori and President Kiduka have had recently, and also some that were a little bit further back, but I just wanted to get a good idea of why BBTAG happened, you know, and what its whole... why, like, what was the purpose for BBTAG, pretty much. Alright, so pretty much from what I found, the company's goal was to appeal to 2D and anime fans, and they said actually that manga and anime were big inspirations for them, for both Mori and President Kiduka. Specifically, they said that BBTAG's goal, when you look at the specific points that they mentioned, BBTAG's goal was mainly expansion. To have a tag team crossover series that's accessible to newcomers and appeals to a more worldwide audience. And in my opinion, BBTAG is both Arc System Works' experiment and also a test for the company. I think it's a test to see how well they can adapt to appealing to an audience that is outside of Japan. And I think that this is really going to be something that shapes the company. If they're going to be successful with this game, they're going to have to get that understanding of like what the Western audience wants, pretty much. So after having looked at you know, some of the other things that Mori specifically said, as well as his actions, as well as like what's been revealed with this game, it seems like Mori is mainly concerned with having a bunch of franchises crossover, and that seems like that was his primary goal, like his personal goal, what he wanted to see himself. So he said he didn't want to focus that much on adding more Ruby characters beyond Penny and Adam, but he knows that the fans in the West will want more. And he said that he wants to develop what he wants. You know, he pretty much wants to make the game what he as a developer wants to see it become. And he said that he likes to think that people will want what it is that he wants to make, right? That's pretty much what he said. And I think that this is the biggest reason why Season 2 is going to be really interesting to see. Because Season 2 is going to show us, okay, is Mori listening? Is he going to like listen to what fans are saying? Or is he just going to blindly do his thing? Is he just going to make this his own personal baby, you know, his own personal project, and who cares what the fans want? It's all about what Mori wants. You know, we're going to see. Based on what we've seen so far, I do think that fans' input is going to matter. But, you know, we'll know for sure a little bit. Well, pretty much we should be knowing next month. Next month is when everything should be happening in terms of getting a reveal for Season 2, if there is going to be one. Let's see here. Alright, also, let me just shift gears really quick and talk about the Fifth Fate, and something that maybe led to us having Arcana Heart as the Fifth Fate. So, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Koji Takaya, he is one of the founders of the Arcana Heart series, and there was an AMA on Reddit, and this was back in July 2017. This was literally right after EVO happened, right after the announcement for Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. And someone on the AMA asked him if he would be open to having Arcana Heart join BBTAG. And he said that he was, and he would definitely be interested in doing that if that's what Arxis wants, right? This was back in July 2017. So I think it's really cool that, like, people asked about it like right as soon as the game came out, before we even knew that this was going to be some like big crossover kind of game. People were already asking, and I think that that's what led to Arcana Heart being the 5th franchise. The fact that fans actually asked, you know, they wanted to see it, so they asked the company. I think that that's a great thing to do. And I always tell you guys that you should definitely be asking whatever companies about whatever franchises, you know. Just keep that in mind. But I think the question that I personally have with this is who drew the new Heart sprite. I don't know if Examu, the developers for Arcana Heart, drew it and then they just gave it to Arxis, or if they already had, like, you know, some new concept art, or what exactly happened there, or if Mori just, you know, drew it from scratch, you know, the dev team drew it from scratch, or they just traced over the Arcana Heart sprites. Who knows? I'm curious to know, because depending on how much work Arxis had to put in to get that character, to get the Arcana Heart characters into BBTAG, I think that's gonna give us an idea of what to expect moving forward, you know? So, I'm personally curious about it. Also, I found like some posts, I forgot where, I found a post online where someone asked, why isn't the BBTAG community, you know, the way that the Uni community is, right? In terms of, Unis is, you know, a fighting game, it's been out for a while now, and they don't get updates as often as like a lot of other fighting games, yet the community still sticks by it, right? And ultimately, it's just that they're just two completely different beasts. Uni is a 1v1 fighter, and it's its own game, right? It's a complete game. French Bread came up with the original plot, the characters, and everything else. No one can pick up Uni and say, oh hey, you're missing this character, you're missing this important character, you know, or like, oh hey, you know, this is missing from the game. No one can say that, because that game it's their thing. It is as it is. It is what French Bread made it to be. So that's just how it is. Plus, the game is already really balanced. In case you guys didn't know, that game is really balanced. It doesn't have need for that many updates, to be honest. But anyway, if you compare that to BBTAG, BBTAG is a 4-way crossover that Arxis announced that no one really asked for. You know, I don't see anyone ever asking for this kind of crossover. But still, a lot of people have grown to like love this game, and you know, and as soon as it was announced, there was a lot of hype around it, you know, and for good reason. But a 4-way crossover already had enough expectations to go along with it, with regards to properly representing each of the franchises and each of their worlds in this game. But then at EVO, they went ahead and they announced a 5th franchise, and then in EVO Japan, a 6th franchise. And now there's expectations that this game is going to be the Smash anime, the Smash of 2D anime fighters. But they still have yet to fulfill the expectations of the initial group of people who bought this game for the 4 franchises that they advertised, for the 4 franchises that were on the cover of the game, right? That's the biggest thing. That's why there is a lot more discontent right now with the community compared to Uni, you know, in my opinion. I think that, you know, once the roster and everything is handled and taken care of, I think that things are going to be a lot better in terms of people being calmer and everything. I don't think anyone's going to rage because, oh, they announced a 7th franchise and we don't know what it is. You know, I don't think that anyone's going to be really raging about that when you have the roster there, you know, that people have been waiting for, that people have been waiting to play. I personally don't think that'll be the case. Anyway, moving on here, just a reminder, Texas Showdown is going to be May 10th, from May 10th to May 12th. I personally believe the patch is going to drop the following Tuesday after that. Usually, in case you don't know, it's Tuesday that PSN updates and the PSN store updates. So I think it's going to be the following Tuesday after that the patch drops. Since we already know it's coming mid-May, this is the last big tournament that's going to be held in that month. So right after the tournament is the best time to drop it. And then, of course, by then we're going to figure out, or, you know, we're going to know what's going to go on with Season 2, how the release is going to work. You know, I think the biggest question also, aside from are we going to get Season 2, is how is the release going to work? You know, are the arcades going to get the new characters first? Is it going to be a simultaneous release between arcades and consoles? You know, hopefully we get all this information next month. By the way, before I forget, there is a tournament that's going to be held on the Japanese arcade release version of the game. If I remember correctly, it should be tonight, 11 p.m. PST, I believe. It should be on the Japanese Arc System Works Twitch channel. I do believe that's tonight at 11 p.m. PST. So yeah, if you guys wanted to see, I know some people wanted to see some character interactions. I don't know if they're in yet. They might be. I'm not sure. But if they are, if they're already in, then you'll be able to see them at the, you know, at the tournament that's later. I imagine that I mean, I would hope they have some in there. The game's supposed to be out in arcades. Oh, they still have a couple of weeks before that, but you never know. They might have some of the interactions in there. Who knows? But yeah, just having gone over those interviews, I think that Mori is like really ambitious when it comes into or when it comes to what he wants this game to be. Yo, Bio, what's up, dude? I'm actually covering that right now, man. Right now. So yeah, you haven't missed too much, man. So yeah, I think that Mori is really ambitious when it comes to this game because, you know, he made it clear that his intentions were to have a bigger audience, you know, to appeal to a bigger audience than just, what BlazBlue and Guilty Gear appeal to, you know, and pretty much accessibility and, yeah, accessibility and getting in that bigger audience. Those are the two big things that he had in mind for BBTAG. So, you know, we already know the game is accessible. Now, the thing is, we see that he's in a hurry to add in more franchises because he wants to pull in those audiences. That was his plan. He's doing it right now. I would say that he's been pretty ambitious with this because within 2 months of the game being out, he announces a new franchise is coming, and then as soon as he reveals what it is, then he's announcing a 6th franchise. Like, I would say that's pretty ambitious, you know. Also, like, as soon as the game came out, like the day it came out or the day after it came out, he said he wanted 2B and 9S to be in the game, and I was just like, okay, and people were hyped about it, but then he found out, you know, about Soul Calibur getting 2B, so that kind of went out of the window there. And then after that, he said that he wanted Ryuko and Satsuki to come to BBTAG. And the difference here is that he's working directly with Studio Trigger. So I would say that is much more likely. Now, something that in the tweet, because it was a commentator who was there at this event, and he was tweeting this out. I missed this because I know before I've told you guys, oh yeah, Ryuko and Satsuki, like, for sure are coming to BBTAG, right? And I'm still pretty sure that they are, but I just wanted to correct something. So this person here, the tweet that I quoted to you guys, there was a tweet that he put out earlier. I don't know why he didn't have this attached to the second one, but an hour before it, he said that Mori said that he really wants Ryuko and Satsuki to be BBTAG, and then he specifically says, please, you know, don't put that on social media or anything. And the problem is, you know, in the first tweet he mentions it, but then in the second tweet, the one that actually got traction, he didn't have that attached to it. So he just had the quote, judging from the hype we see in the room, Ryuko and Satsuki might join BBTAG. And, you know, I just wanted to point that out to you guys. So there is, pretty much when Mori said this, he really wants them to get in BBTAG, and I firmly believe he'll do everything in his power to get Ryuko and Satsuki in BBTAG, but at the same time, from how he worded it, he didn't want that to get out because he had not actually had that firm talk with Studio Trigger yet. But I'm sure that he's still going to do everything he can to get them in the game. You know, just wanted to put that out there just so there's no confusion. I know that before I said that because of what he said, if Mori didn't do that, then it would just make him look like he's incompetent. I do take that back because, he did say he didn't even want that to be up on social media. Someone put that up on social media and then made a follow-up tweet that did not have that information there. That's pretty much what happened. Still, I do personally believe that Ryuko and Satsuki are likely EVO reveals. Having said that. Anyway, he also, specifically talked about how he wanted to add some more Ruby characters. He just didn't want it to be the focus of the game, but he did have full intentions of adding more Ruby characters. I do expect that we're probably gonna see more, but since he said these things and we know about them, it's gonna be interesting to see if he follows through with what he said. If we actually get what it is that was in a way hyped. For people who are buying the game. We'll see. But anyway, the patch and everything comes out next month. I'm sure that people are going to be data mining it. I'm hoping that ArcSys doesn't take the time to clean up all their traces, with the data in the new patch. I hope that they don't do that. I could see them doing that because they know how anxious people are to get details about something and how they haven't been telling us anything. So I hope they don't think ahead to do that. At the very least, though, on the Nintendo eShop, we'll see something about the character packs if this first round of characters is part of Season 2. Personally, I've also seen it said that, hey, after these round of characters, don't expect anything else until EVO. But the more I thought about it, it just didn't make sense. There's definitely time for one more, at least one more pack to come out, even if they had it released in Japanese arcades first, and then, they release it on consoles like a couple weeks or so later. There's still time for them to do that. As long as it's out by the first week of July, it is definitely EVO legal. If I remember that correctly. They might actually have a little bit more time, but I know for sure it should definitely be EVO legal, if it's like the first week of July, maybe even like the week after that. I'm not exactly sure. But they can still release something in July, and it's still going to be EVO legal. Just putting that out there. But yeah, there's more than enough time for them to release another character pack after that. And like I said before, to outsiders looking at this game, to people who are fans of Arcana Heart, who are like, oh wow, this my favorite franchise or whatever is coming BBTAG. It would look bad at EVO if, for example, they're watching the game, they've been interested in the game, they look at it, and then they see on the selection screen when they go by Arcana Heart, there's one character. And then they'll remember, wait, didn't they have this big, huge tease last year? Isn't this what they teased last year? And then they'll look at that and they'll be like, it's been a whole year and there's one rep. There's one rep for my favorite series. That does not look good. And then if they go and they look into, the community and they look at how people are talking about the game, if there hasn't been any other character packs between May and EVO, people are probably going to be pretty pissed because that means that we haven't gotten our villains, we haven't gotten, the complete investigation team. It would still be missing Rise. People would probably be pissed. Now, I just think that wouldn't be the case. But if they don't reveal anything between then and EVO, all it's going to do is just get people really, put off from the game, and then by the time, even if they do make their announcement or whatever at EVO, if it's not exactly what people want, there's going to be some group of the fan base that's just going to probably go off if that happens. If it's not exactly, what they wanted, right? I mean, after all that waiting, that it's understandable, but you know, the company just has to, they have to realize this, and I really hope they don't wait until then. Yo, Gray, what's up, dude? Yeah, like you missed some things. I'm not gonna lie, you did miss some things, bro. But I'm sure you'll be able to just jump into the conversation here. You know, you'll be able to catch on to where I am right now. But yeah, you did miss some things. Yep, bro. We we did started talking about some of the problems that you know, just some of the potential problems of BBTAG. Well, really, what I covered first was the history of like why BBTAG is. Pretty much just to like bring you up to date, dude. Pretty much, it's just that Mori and President Kiduka, they both really like. Well, for one, they both really like Smash Bros. That's for one. Two, they really wanted BBTAG to be accessible to a new audience, to an audience that had never touched any fighting games before. And three, they wanted this game to, you know, be accessible to them, and they wanted to pull that audience in. That's pretty much why BBTAG exists. This is probably, like, if you think about it, we don't really have that many 2D anime crossovers, to be honest. We don't have many anime crossovers outside of, like, Shonen Jump stuff, to be honest. And then when it comes to like, fighting games, it's rare. I can't think of any off the top of my head for like, anime crossovers outside of, like, Dengeki Bunko. I mean, you could say Nitro Plus Blasters, but they don't really have, if I remember correctly, they don't have anime characters. Like, not anime characters. They have, like, Senran Kagura and Fate characters, but they don't have, like straight up anime characters the way that Dengeki Bunko does. You know? That's pretty much like the main point. Oh. Sup, dude? Yeah, that's pretty much the main point, that I made up until now. But yeah, moving forward, let me double check, where was I? Right, so I think it would make a lot of sense if May, you know, next month, we get our first character pack, and then, you know, we get at least one more character pack. Because, like I said, it would just look bad if there was only one Arcana Heart character on that slot. That would just look bad. And, yeah, that would just look bad. Now, I think it would be best if we had Rise and the villains before EVO, because people would be so calm. People would be, you know, more ready for whatever it is they're going to announce at EVO. You know, even if they only released one more character pack, and let's say it had, this is probably not going to happen, this is me dreaming, but the next one, let's say the next character pack had Rise in it, right? The reason I say it probably won't happen is because they're going to probably go in order and release Elizabeth first before Rise. But let's just say, okay, they did release Rise first and whatever other characters. If they did that, and at the very end of that character pack, there was a villain's voice, we hear the Japanese VA of, like, Terumi or Dachi or something at the end of that character pack, and we knew the villains were coming next, and this was, like, the last character trailer before EVO, dude, people would go into EVO just like, yes, we're getting the villains, right? Yes. And then, of course, I'm sure they have whatever big announcements, you know, they're gonna have, you know, but that would be the best thing, in my opinion. Personally. Yo, Gray, I mean, that's exactly what I mean, dude. I really think that, at this point, Rise and the villains, those are the biggest omissions from the roster right now. And I think that the sooner they address them, the better off the core fan base will be. That's honestly what I think, dude. Let me see here. But yeah, I mean, the thing is this. If they don't do any reveals between May and August, you know, when EVO is, there's, you know, besides killing their own momentum for the game, I mean, like I said, people could potentially be upset when it gets time, you know, when EVO actually is here. People would probably be upset by not having any other details or any other character releases. Not only that, but how much do people expect for them to announce at EVO? That's the other thing I wanted to ask, because I know that last year we got 3 character packs released immediately after EVO. Do people really expect that again this year? Because personally, like, I personally expect at EVO we're gonna get either Ryuko and Satsuki along with the 6 Fate reveal, or we're getting some hype franchise. If you look at Mori and his tastes, you know, I know that some of us question some of his tastes because of the picks that we have in this roster, and, you know, the waifus and whatnot. But if you look at his picks, like 2B and 9S, and then, you know, when 2B fell through, then it's like, okay, well, Ryuko and Satsuki. Dude, this man has ambition, but he also has good taste. That's the thing that makes me think that no matter what, when we get those, the characters that are supposed to be hype, they're gonna be hype because Mori actually has some decent taste. I mean, everyone was excited about 2B, and a lot of people were excited about Ryuko and Satsuki. You know, he has some good taste. Just saying. Yo, Gray, well, yeah, like, I personally do think that Rise should come before Elizabeth, but in terms of the order of how the characters were made and shown off, in Persona 4 Arena, Elizabeth and Shadow Lapras were the last 2 characters. And they already said that Shadow Lapras is out because she's a puppet character, so Elizabeth would be the next logical pick, but yeah, Rise would be the one to complete the investigation team, you know. And I do think that it would be a much better move if they release Rise before Elizabeth, personally. Gray, dude, do you honestly believe we won't get any announcements at EVO? Are you sure, bro? Or were you saying before EVO? Yo, Ben Naz, what's up? Yeah, I think that, I mean, like I said, if we don't get announcements before EVO, that is gonna hurt this game. Oh my god, that's gonna hurt this game. Even if at EVO, we got everything we want. This is what I'm saying, look. If we have to wait... Wait, Gray, you don't think we're gonna get any more announcements you don't think we're gonna get any more announcements after May? Dude, that's not gonna happen, because we have to get the 6 Fate. They already announced 6 Fate. They already made that announcement, so they gotta reveal what it is. Okay, dude. Alright, man. I mean, alright, man. I personally think that we're gonna get... I think we're gonna get something, because if they wait until EVO to announce everything, do you know how much they're gonna have to announce? I think that between now and the end of EVO Finals, we should have a total of 4 character packs, right? Including the ones that's coming out next month, we should have a total of 4 character packs. So, if we have to wait till EVO for us to get those announcements, then what? Then what? They're gonna announce 3 character packs that are coming out immediately, you know, so we get 3 more, a total of what? 9 characters there. I'm sorry, we get a total of 12 characters because Arcana Heart's going to be in there. So we get a total of 12 characters. And then on top of that, they're going to be revealing the 6 Fate. And then on top of that, we're going to be getting some hype guest reveal. And we're going to be getting 7 Fate teas. Dude, that's not all going to happen on this stage. Like, they're going to be up there for 10 minutes announcing. If like, that would just be ridiculous, bro. I don't think we're gonna be getting all of that at once. I really don't. Like, it doesn't make sense to announce all of that. In my opinion, it's hype enough to just get, you know, a couple of hype characters like Yuko, Satsuki, and then if 6 Fate is like Dengeki or whatever, then, you know, we get that, and then to maybe get like a pack or 2 revealed that's immediately coming out. That, in my opinion, That's really hype. That's more than hype enough, in my opinion. Personally, I think that's more than hype. Midnaz, I think you mean the next Arcana. The next Arcana is a week from today. Do not, and I repeat, do not count on there being BBTAG information there, because they tweeted something out and it was not BBTAG related. So don't expect for them to drop a trailer or anything next week. Don't count on it. Just letting you know now. We do have, I believe we have a tournament tonight on the BBTAG Japanese arcade release. It should be streamed on the Japanese Arc System Works Twitch channel starting at 11 p.m. PST. So, you know, just letting you guys know. But yeah, I don't think we're going to be getting an announcement next week. Count on it next month. Like, the thing is, they're in a position now, if they don't announce it next month, like before they release it on console, then people are going to be data mining it. And if they like don't have the data there, let's say that they don't have most of the data there, that you would have to go back and look at to check, right? Then we have the Nintendo eShop. The only way they can get out of this, that you know they can keep everything secret, is if the new characters coming out aren't part of Season 2, which that does not seem to be the case. It seems like they are part of Season 2. And for them not to have any leftover data on the patch, which again, that's unlikely. And for them to somehow, yeah, like that's like neither of those things can be happening if we're not going to get any information. Because if they're part of Season 2, there's going to be a character pass. And even if they're not, there's probably character data on the patch for upcoming characters. Just saying. Yo, Bio, right now, it's 6:09 right now, PST, 6:09. I don't know, man. Like I said, though, even if that's the case, even if they are, the new characters, they can't be part of Season 2. That's the thing. The new characters can't be part of Season 2, because if they are, then on the Nintendo eShop, there's going to be, some information about the character packs. That's just how it works. So, we're gonna get something. Like, we have to get something, pretty much. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so, another important thing here. So like I said earlier, the Arcana Heart series, it's possible that it got into BBTAG and became the Fifth Fate just because of that AMA that happened on the subreddit back in July of 2017. So that's all because a fan asked if it was going to join BBTAG. Keeping that in mind, I want you guys to one second here. Yeah, I want you guys to keep in mind that Anime Expo is going to be in July. And also, RTX Austin, the Rooster Teeth event, that's going to be in July as well. It's both of them happen, I believe, the first week of July. So, when you go there, there's going to be panels. For Anime Expo, there are panels there. And from what I've gathered, they've had panels for... Like, for example, they've had JoJo panels. They've had My Hero Academia panels. So, if you guys really want to see My Hero Academia, or if you really want to see JoJo in BBTAG, you should go to the panel. You know, if you're going, obviously, if you're going to be at Anime Expo, go to the panel and ask them the question. Hey, can we get X franchise in BBTAG? Or, a lot of people really want to see a JoJo Arc System Works 2D fighter. Go there and ask them, hey, can we get a 2D fighter made by ArcSys? Feel free to ask them that. Because, that's how Arcana Heart, that's how they asked about Arcana Heart, and it's the Fifth Fate right now. So if you guys want it to happen, I think if you're going to be there at Anime Expo, definitely ask. Also, for Rooster Teeth, if you guys want to see more Ruby characters, you should go there and you know, ask them about it. Or if you want a dedicated Ruby fighter, go there and ask them about it. I do think that we're getting a couple more Ruby characters just based on everything that I've read. I'm pretty sure we are. But I'm just letting you know that, you know, you guys need to be asking. You need to be asking questions. You need to. Let's see here. Yeah, so I've mentioned it a few times, Bio. JoJo is possible because obviously ArcSys has proven themselves more than capable with Dragon Ball FighterZ, and I'm sure that Bandai Namco, I'm sure that Shueisha, I'm sure that Araki, I'm sure that all of them notice. Now, the only thing is, I don't know. It's up in the air. It could happen, but I wouldn't count on it either. It's much more likely that we would get a JoJo 2D fighting game than getting JoJo out of the BBTAG. And I say that just because, from what I've read, Shueisha, people have said that Shueisha is just as strict with their IP as Nintendo is. Then again, if you think about it, Nintendo actually lent their Zelda IP to an indie publisher for like some game. So that statement doesn't hold that much water anymore. You can say they're more like old school Nintendo, but Nintendo has now started giving out their, you know, their characters from their own IP to some indie developers. Just saying, that's changed. So, who knows? Maybe things can change with Shueisha as well. But from what from the research I've done, both Bandai Namco and Shueisha both have to give the okay for JoJo characters to make it into BBTAG. Same thing with any other anime from their Jump Shonen, you know, the Jump magazine, right? But in terms of other cool anime that are possible and more likely than the shonen ones, if you look at the Gon Gon magazine from Square Enix, since they own that one, Full Metal Alchemist, Soul Eater, and a few others are owned by them. So those are more possible than JoJo, Naruto, you know, Bleach, One Piece. Those are more possible than those. Just so you know. Fate is also pretty possible. I've mentioned that a couple of times. Fate is pretty possible, considering everything. I know some people think that the 6th Fate is going to be Fate. It's either... I mean, it could be Fate. It could definitely be Fate. But I think... Well, I don't know. It could be Fate or it could be Dengeki. I think it's going to be one of the two. I'm just leaning more towards Dengeki because I think that Fate would come later. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and this could be Fate. But Fate is possible. I just think that it would be coming later if we got it. That's what I would think. Yeah, so that was pretty much it. Also, one last thing. I don't know if you guys have checked, but on Twitter, there has been... I've seen, like, some Japanese players, you know, talking about BBTAG, and I'm happy to see that they're excited about it. You know, it seems like they're liking the arcade Loki test that's going on right now. We also got, like, some more gameplay. Just to give you guys some ideas, Naoto Kurogane solo, Naoto Kurogane can hit 9K with 1 bar of meter, and I love it. I love it. It looks so beautiful. Not only that, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly, characters like Arcana, like, no, Heart can hit, like, 7K. Like, Heart can hit, like, 7K meterless, I think, if I remember correctly. I mean, I don't know. I think that those are pretty solid numbers.
Get ready.
Given how, you know, the fact that these characters seem pretty viable. I feel like Naoto, as long as his sway is fully invul, that's gonna be awesome.
I rest all that I am upon the tip of this blade.
In a fight, the first to flinch loses. Time to get fired up.
Actually,
This'll be easy.
personally, well, I personally think that Chaos Code isn't likely.
Fight! Let's
Hold on. Oh, wow. I whipped 5B. Oh, man, that was my bad.
Ready and counter. Jesus toys, really. Let's go. Next hit. Ready and let's go.
There we go. Alright. Yeah, I personally think that Cinder and Kagura... I think Cinder and Kagura is going to be coming too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Cinder and Kagura is coming. But just later. Or I don't know, maybe Cinder could be the 7th fate. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I personally don't think Chaos Code is coming for a couple of reasons. One, Mori wants this game to be expansive. He wants to pull in new audiences. Chaos Code would pull in a minimal amount of new players. I feel like Chaos Code appeals more to the hardcore people in the FGC. Because if you go to most people, and you mention Street Fighter, right? If you mention Street Fighter to someone, they know what you're talking about. If you mention, Soul Calibur, they probably know what you're talking about. Hopefully they know what you're talking about if you say BlazBlue. But if you say, hey, Chaos Code, they don't know what you're talking about. I mean, most people, I just don't think that would be the franchise that they add at this point. I think that if they were going to add Chaos Code, then it would have been the 5th fate instead of Arcana Heart. Because at this point, I don't see a point in adding Chaos Code. Besides just to please, some of the hardcore... Oh my god, I can't believe that got me. That sucks. Alright. Okay. But yeah, yeah, I just don't think that Chaos Code is that likely, just because, well, if at this point, if they do add Chaos Code in the future, it would make sense for them to add it closer to the end, because like I said, they have to pay for a license for new characters that they don't own, but it only appeals to a small number of the current player base. So if they expanded the player base first, they had some other franchises here already, and then they add Chaos Code, then it's like, oh, okay, well, let me check out these new characters, let me at least take a look. But then they have a bigger player base by that point because they've added bigger franchises. If you see what I'm saying there, bro. That's pretty much my point. It's just, in terms of the order, I think that Chaos Code should have already been added. And on top of that, the fact that manga and anime were big inspirations for Mori and Kiduka, and the fact that Dengeki Bunko has really convenient licensing, licensing choices in terms of making it easy for them to get those licenses, and the fact that they're working with Sega and French Bread, and they already have all the sprites done for the most popular, or for most of the most popular anime from Dengeki Bunko. And there's a lot of ands. And also the fact that the producer of the game, wow. Oh no, that sucks. Alright. Okay. Aw, man. It didn't kill. I wasted like 5 bars of beater. That was so... Okay, that hitbox is big. There we go. Nope. Take that, buddy. Okay, but yeah, also the fact that the producer of Fighting Climax, he really liked the game, and he was interested in making a sequel, but it seems like that's not that likely. I actually asked some of the people from the Fighting Climax player base, because I was interested in getting the game. I really, like, after looking at some gameplay, I want to pick it up. I really want to play Shizuo, but yeah, I asked some of the people who are part of the fan base in the Discord group if there was a sequel likely. You know, they said that it's pretty unlikely, and I would say that considering everything, they probably would like to see their characters appear in BBTAG and have, you know, a chance at being on main stage Evo. I think that that would appeal to them a lot. There we go. Okay. What? Wow, recovered from the DP and then had time to throw out a low. Oh, okay, that was my bad. I missed time things. Nope. Thank you so much for that. Oh man, I am so sick of 9 stupid 5C overhead having that range. I'm so happy that I got my pause button right there. That was perfect. That's what she deserves, a nice punch to the face.